If you only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
Hello everyone, this is Take the Gate. It is September 29th, 2014, and I'm bringing you some news out of Pennsylvania again. And this involves an FBI agent, or multiple agents, who were trying to entrap a righteous judge for whatever reason. Perhaps he was honest and they wanted to get rid of him. And this is brought out by the AP, and this judge was taking money for his political campaign, and they tried to entrap him by getting a suspect that did not exist for him to plead guilty to a crime that he was accused of committing, which he did not commit. And according to the Philadelphia AP here, it says, to catch Philadelphia municipal judge they suspected of corruption, the agents invented a defendant, complete with a staged arrest and court appearances. The court documents from Judge Joseph Walters Jr. guilty plea Wednesday to federal mail and wire fraud charges include details of a bogus arrest by a name of David Corey for illegally carrying an unloaded Glock. However, he does not exist. During a traffic stop in 2012, the Philadelphia Inquirer reported. And according to the documents, an unnamed campaign donor asked Waters to help Corey, describing him as a cousin of a business associate. Waters then called for a fellow judge who was scheduled to hear the case. According to Waters' plea document, he identified Corey as a friend and asked the judge to hear the case to help him. Prosecutors and defense lawyers who worked briefly on Corey's case barely remembered the man and were not in on this FBI secret. As I understand it, none of it was real. The whole thing was orchestrated, said Waters' attorney, Michael Engel said. The police report on Corey's arrest said that the arresting officer, John Schneider, pulled Corey over in May 2012 for erratic driving on a busy stretch of the Torrensdale Avenue in Philadelphia. When I approached the window, I asked him for this information. Snyder testified at a later hearing in the case. I noticed a black handgun on the floor mat, and he asked if he had a license to carry. He said no. So these lies come back here, and it says the fake 40-year-old defendant was charged with carrying a firearm without a license, a felony. He told the officers that he didn't know his address and had no phone, and he told probation officers that he was from Louisville, Kentucky, and gave a social security number that appeared to have been issued in Texas in 1988. His black SUV had Virginia plates. It remains unclear whether Snyder knew Corey's case was a sting. He declined to comment on it last week in the Inquirer. Ultimately, the judge hearing the case reduced the charges to a misdemeanor. The charges were ultimately dropped when the fake defendant failed to appear for trial and court staff had no address on file. All that remains of Corey's case in the Manila court folder on an office shelf in the Philadelphia court's building. On it is a green sticky note that reads, withdrawn. So, if in fact this is entrapment, it remains to be seen. The guilty plea, however, by the judge needed to be reviewed again, I assume, on some appeal process. So I will leave the link to this. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing out.